place up is absolutely amazing. And to be downtown at Christmas, the lights are up, this part of town is growing, and this is kind of sort of the benchmark that started all of it.
Yeah, I mean, downtown revitalization, you've heard it probably on WVF News before. Yeah. You've probably heard it from your friends, your neighbors, maybe even just seen it. It's all kind of started here. This is the hub. You go right down the street, you have the bakery, the tasting room. It's kind of brought a new perspective. You've been here longer than I have.
Yeah. Oh, I would never dream of coming down here 15 years ago. So, yeah, that's huge.
Trying to figure out how to get comfortable.
I'm also going to spill the beans
about
Grand Strand Brewing Company and what we were talking about earlier with the folks that run this little joint here.
Oh, okay.
For a certain event coming up in June. Who would like to come down to Grand Strand Brewing for a live podcast right before CCMF? I'm thinking we get Kid Rock
on the episode.
I'm thinking we get Kid Rock on the podcast.
Let's go. Literally, we just found out about that. That's a possibility. They want to do that. Could you imagine us with the CCMF crowd?
We'd fit right.
George, do we have a beeper? Can we bleep stuff out with the crowd? We do. All right, we're set. We're good there. I just got to say, first and foremost, the food's been fantastic.
Yep.
There's probably people here. Look at the crowd. I can't get over the crowd.
I know.
By far the biggest crowd we've ever had. I feel like a host. Like, who's coming on the show? But also, just a shout out to every single person in here that came. Woo! And I say that because I haven't even been able to say hello to everyone yet.
Right.
We said we'll start at 7 so we can get done earlier to take photos. We're going to be taking a lot of photos.
So who is here just for the podcast? Raise your hands.
I like it.
And then the rest of you were like, you just kind of stumbled in here and you're like, what is this garbage?
Hey, there we go. We got a couple at the bar. That's my people.
Yeah, that's our people hanging out at the
bar.
You
have 26 minutes until that 50% off select drinks, so power up.
We've got to say some hellos.
Yes,
a couple of shout outs.
For sure.
The rest of our Are You Cirrus crew.
Yes. Anya, our wonderful producer who makes everything. Anya, wave to the crowd. There's Anya. Sarah, our wonderful director.
Sarah.
There she is.
They keep us sharp. Keep us sharp during the newscast.
And there's been a couple of episodes, believe it or not, where we've had to cut some things out.
Yeah. Anya, when I tend to go off on my rants, Anya is the one who decides to cut certain segments that occasionally have to be cut because I can tend to go off the rails a little bit. And I think it was our second podcast that you were like, we got to really cut this. Yeah.
First time we've cut that, so we're glad they're here. They're also featured on our awards.
Yes.
3-time award-winning podcast.
3-time award-winning podcast, by the way.
Who do you want to start with next? You want to go through the WMBF table? Or?
Yeah, so we've got basically the entire morning team here. We've got Lauren, we've got Darion.
There's Darion. I was waiting for it.
Of course, Darion's at the bar. Of course, Darion's cashing in on happy hour.
We have, I'm trying to get around, Alan Marcus, one of our producers.
Alan Marcus produces the 5 p.m. newscast.
I saw Kyle, maybe.
Kyle Morton produces the 6 o'clock newscast. He's probably at the bar, too.
We have Dana sitting back there. Eric, you can wave your hand. We got to save Jenna for last, right?
Yeah, Jenna's last. We've got George. I don't know if you guys have seen or heard George.
I can't see. There's a bar there. Michaela and Emily. Emily Sheeroff.
So back here in the corner is George. George doesn't really have anything to do with the podcast on a day-to-day basis, but like this, I don't know if you guys have looked up. There's like freaking WMBF on the ceiling. George sets up these amazing venues that we do.
Yeah.
And it's just an absolute whiz. We couldn't do anything without George.
Yeah, fantastic. George is here. We have Hunter and Dustin's on the floor. I see Dustin in the back. And this is going to be a podcast designed to do some interaction.
Yeah.
So we know that we want to do questions. We know we want to do some answers.
And we're also going to give away some stuff. And I'm going to do one really quick.
Okay, I like it.
Because before everybody got here, before most of you got here, we had our youngest ever podcast viewer show up.
I feel like I can't hear you on the speaker.
I'm right here, Andrew.
I know.
Connor is
Where's
here.
Connor
I
at?
saw Connor just sneaking in the back door. Connor and his mom. Where'd they go? Connor.
Connor, can you come up here?
You guys have got to see Connor. He's amazing. He's a weather geek. Hey, Connor, come on up. This is the youngest Are You Cirrus viewer and watcher. Can I give this to you? You want to put it on? It's cold. There you go.
I love it.
Everybody, Connor. Thanks, Connor.
Merry Christmas. Well, that does it for this episode of Are You Serious?
We can quit right now.
Y'all have a good one. It goes downhill from here.
We've got a bunch of other great people here. We've got some of our favorite photographers in the house.
Yeah, where do you want to start?
Let's start with Tracy. If you follow either of us on X, Twitter, whatever, you'll see us always retweeting and talking about Tracy. And she walked in and introduced herself, and we were like, oh my God, it's Tracy.
Yeah, keep in mind, we didn't know what Tracy looked like.
Yeah, I had no clue. So, Tracy, so happy you made it. Thank you for the pictures, beautiful sunrise pictures. We've got Donald Hovis, also another one of our fantastic photographers around here. Jim O'Neill back there sends amazing pictures to us, so we love to see all those. Back here, oh no, they left.
Oh no.
Oh. Shelly, I used to go to high school with Shelly, and she showed up for the podcast tonight.
I told, and it's funny, we told her when we start yapping, people leave.
And she left.
And she left. She's out the door.
And I think now we finally have to talk about Jenna.
Yeah.
Jenna, of course, the newest member on the team. If you don't know Jenna's story, she started as an intern. She started. Okay, that's enough for Jenna. Let's not give her an ego. She started as an intern with us last summer, and she blossomed and grew into this amazing young woman. And then we hired her, and now she's with us. She's just doing an amazing job. And our favorite thing to do is to embarrass Jenna, to nag Jenna.
She's like the sister we've never had.
She's the sister we've never had. So big round of applause for Jenna. Now here's the tea. Are you ready for the tea? Jenna brought her new boyfriend tonight. Ben, hands up, Ben.
Ben's a trooper. Oh, we were wondering if you were going to say it.
I've been waiting all day to do that.
I was figuring how you were going to say it.
We've got Will that's here from Will's Weather. We've got Mark, one of our longest, most dedicated podcast fans. So that's our shout outs. If I forgot anybody.
I know we did, and we'll get to them.
Yeah.
Just going to think on how we wanted to go about this. I think we'll just kind of open the floor.
Let's do it. So let's do some questions.
All right, Jenna's going to have the mic.
Jenna has the mic.
No question is off limits. Oh, there we go. There we go. Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
It's like we're best friends.
Any day now, Jenna.
There you go. Okay, hi. As a photographer, I'm always out there taking pictures.
Yes.
Can we please get a cloud forecast? Because we love to see clouds. We don't get to see clouds very much. So when sometimes it's like it's going to be a dry day, whatever, why can't there be also included the ratio of clouds?
I like that. So as a photographer, you obviously want clouds because
clouds
for a sunrise or sunset refracts colors and gives you some of the brilliant. We always talk about the most brilliant sunsets ever are the ones that happen usually before or after a hurricane. And it's because of the really high, thin clouds that kind of fan out. So we should do that. We should start including, I don't know if we could probably couldn't get it in our everyday on-air segments, but it's certainly something we could start tweeting out the night before. Would that help? What time, how much notice do you need?
Maybe about an hour.
Okay.
Because we always get up probably an hour before where we want to go see what it's going to be. And if you have clouds, you're more likely. It just depends because then we decide where we're going to go.
Yeah.
If there's clouds and what we're going to shoot, and it depends. If we go to Myrtle's Inlet, if we go up north, whatever. If the better the clouds are, the better photos there are.
All right.
I like it.
Donald, Jim, cloud forecast.
Would that help?
Between 30 and 70% is going to be a stellar sunrise.
All right.
Okay, I like it.
surf camps that pay, you know.
Okay.
If I see clouds into that, that's how I know it's ready to go.
The photographer's
Or I look
secrets.
out my window.
Photographer's secrets are coming out. I like it.
I also, and we've talked about this, and we'll get it arranged. I have a ton of questions.
Let's have.
We've got North Myrtle Beach, our Tower Cam,
Tin Roof, Sea Captains,
How-
Conway,
Boathouse.
Boathouse, and Florence.
How do we access them? From your website?
WBFnews.com.
Yep.
Okay, because they're really hard to
Click
find
on weather,
sometimes.
and then I think there's a link to all the sky cams there.
Skycam Network. Yep. I'll tweet it to you too. That'll help out. I do have a lot of questions for them when the time comes.
For who? Oh,
The photographer?
Yeah.
So that's
Same.
going to be a future episode
Same.
coming in. While Jenna, if you have a question, just raise your hand and Jenna will get to you.
Or if you just want to like yell at us about something or whatever.
Look at that hustle coming in.
She's quick.
Paper over here, guys.
Oh, she's got a paper question.
Okay, you ready there, Jamie and Andrew? Okay, here we go. I'm not a writer, so don't everybody laugh. Okay.
Can you hear?
I am curious about the factors that contributed to the last Helene's deep penetration into the state, resulting in significant damage, as I previously understood that the storms tend to lose intensity after making landfall. I'm interested in understanding why this particular storm maintained its strength and continued to move forward like it did.
Wonderful.
I heard the question. Did you?
I
got
did.
it? Okay, cool.
I did. So we're going to have to settle in on this one. Y'all ready?
Everybody got their drinks and snacks?
Did everybody hear it? Basically, why did Helene go so far inland, causing so much damage? One, it started as a strong hurricane. It was a Category 4 at landfall. So you're starting, obviously, with a stronger system. Two, after landfall, it was moving very, very quickly. So when you have a hurricane of that intensity that makes landfall and is moving that fast, it is going to carry, especially the wind, well inland. So there were hurricane force wind gusts up through Augusta, close to Greenville, Spartanburg, and then 70 and even 80 and 90 mile per hour gusts all the way in the mountains of North Carolina. Terrible. Not unheard of. Hugo, that's kind of the other benchmark storm around here, also made landfall as a Category 4 down at Charleston. The peak wind gusts in Charlotte were 100 miles per hour. It also brought wind gusts of 60 to 70 mile per hour to the North Carolina mountains. So it's just obviously a strong hurricane that's moving very fast can indeed transport all of that wind very far inland. Probably the greatest example of that is Hurricane Hazel in 1954 that made landfall here, just up the road from here in Little River. The highest wind gusts ever recorded, and the records still hold, for Washington, D.C., New York City, Buffalo, and Toronto, Canada, were all from Hurricane Hazel. Hurricane Hazel struck here in the morning. 12 hours later, it was in Canada. A storm, and it was a Category 4. So a hurricane moving super fast with that much energy is going to spread its wind very, very far inland. Now, as far as the rain goes, we kind of talked about this. A lot of people don't know, but it was raining in the North Carolina mountains about 4 days before Helene hit. What we call a predecessor rain event. Those rain events are pretty common ahead of big tropical storms and hurricanes. So it was already raining in the North Carolina mountains for 4 days before Helene hit. A lot of the rivers were already at or even above flood stage. The ground was saturated, and then Helene hit, and it was too much. So much rain just from Helene alone was 10, 15 inches on top of saturated ground on rivers that were completely full, and it just completely overwhelmed the river system there. I hope that helped.
And
that was some serious stuff.
Yeah, and I'll add to that too. Before I came to Myrtle Beach, I lived in eastern Kentucky, Appalachian Mountains. It takes 6 inches of rain in a short period to get houses to float away. It does not take much for significant flooding events. And unfortunately, with Helene, the predecessor rain event, they already had enough rain before Helene even moved in, like you said. I just drove through there. We went back to Kentucky. We avoided, because I-40 is still shut down. You can't get through there. So we avoided that with the snow going to Kentucky. But coming back, we went through where Helene hit the worst. And let me tell you, it is, for me, I mean, I just sat there in just disbelief to go and see mountaintops completely removed. Trees look like tornado damage on top of the mountains. The worst part about it, though, is it's 24 degrees as we're driving through, and you're going into these towns. And the town that we had to go through for our detour took us about an hour and 45 to get through. The flooding, you could see the flood marks on Main Street. Houses and buildings completely swept off, just foundation. But the one thing that stuck out to Emily and I when we were driving through is the amount of tents. Because that's all the people have right now. And it was so sad to see. So obviously, if you can help out, we're in a holiday giving mood. If you can buy a Christmas tree from a farm up in North Carolina, if you can donate $10 to Helene recovery efforts, I encourage you, because I was moved away by that damage. With that being said, too, the speed and intensity, there was no blocking mechanism with Helene. Typically, you get high pressure to curb steering flow. This thing went due up, and unfortunately, the forecast was spot on. We knew this was coming. So just a very sad situation. I think a situation that we're going to kind of take to heart on how we talk about impact forecasting and where we go from there. So great question. Great question. There will be a lot more to come from that. Any more questions? All right. Donald's got a question. Donald, hit us.
So currently, we're now on this roller coaster weather. Is that going to be our trend going forward?
In case you didn't hear, we've obviously been on this like crazy roller coaster ride of weather the past couple weeks. We're going to do it again next week. I kind of think so. I kind of think we're going to be in for kind of a up and down kind of a winter. Most of our winters do tend to be up and down, but I think we may see a little more extremes to the ups and downs. When it's warm, it's really warm. When it's cold, it's really cold, kind of like it is now. I think we may see that as kind of a fairly common theme this winter. Where's my snow lovers in the house? Yeah, Darion, you're lying.
He likes that first initial snow.
We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. So Andrew's keeping up with questions online.
Joey says, any future guests that you all are going to have for the next season? Is Mitch West going to come back?
Let's get Mitch West back.
I love Mitch.
Kid Rock. Jelly Roll. We're just putting it out there. You still want the Twister guy.
Glenn Powell, thank you. I blanked.
Those are our like top lists. If that doesn't work out, we'll probably have to do like Lauren and Darion again.
Unfortunately. I'm trying to think. There was a couple more. We want to see if we can get Josh in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, Josh Morgerman, Hurricane Hunter. Going to see if we can get him back on again.
We'll figure it out. I feel like season 3 too, and someone said it to me. I don't know who it was. I'm sorry. I talked to a lot of people already, and we'll talk to more. Season 3 went on for like a year and a half, it felt like.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, we just kept going with season 3, but we're here. Season 2 ended last year this time. Season 3 went for a whole year. Just out of curiosity, how many people have never listened to Are You Cirrus?
Wow, Dustin.
I saw Dustin's finger and I ignored it.
Wow, Dustin.
Appreciate it, Dustin. Appreciate it.
Darion?
Okay. How many people have listened to every episode? All right.
All right.
Really? There we go. Okay. I'm going to give...
Take him a coffee mug.
I was about to do a trivia question.
There's another one.
And we're going to give...
Trivia.
Yeah, we're going to give a coffee
Yeah, coffee cup.
You want to get a coffee mug away?
Yeah.
All right. Unfortunately, this is going to be probably tailored to people who have seen the podcast. For season 3, what was our most listened to episode? Does anyone know?
Mark?
Not prediction, but it was hurricane. Close. No. Do you know?
No. I have no clue which one it was.
It was Hurricane Helene.
Hurricane Helene.
Do you have another question you want to ask?
No, I'm good.
No trivia question?
I can't remember any.
Oh, okay. Cool. I feel like we got to have someone get it right to give the mug away.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody gets a mug.
Okay.
Except the next person to ask a question.
Okay. Any questions? Y'all are being quiet, and I don't like it.
Wait, no, we got one. Jenna, keep up. Connor.
My question is, why does it not snow every day?
Oh.
He said, why doesn't it snow every day? Man, I wish it would. I want to make that happen.
He's one of us.
Yeah, he's definitely one of us. Connor is a weather geek at heart.
Connor, have you ever seen snow?
No, I'm talking about rain.
Rain? Why doesn't it rain every day?
No, why does it not?
Why does it not rain every day?
Well, because sometimes the atmosphere like today is really, really dry, and there's no moisture for any rain. Other days, the atmosphere is like really, really wet, and on those days, it does rain. See, weather's easy. You can be a meteorologist.
And then have people tell you you're wrong all the time.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, Connor.
But you know what, Connor? You still get paid.
You look like a talk show host.
I love it.
We have more questions coming in from YouTube. By the way, we had 36 people in here at one point. Kevin, can you please get Brian Norcross as a guest? And when will next season start?
Next season will start probably sometime in January,
I would say so.
I guess.
We need a couple weeks.
Brian Norcross. Anybody know that name? A couple folks know the name. The weather geeks in the building know the name. So Brian Norcross was the chief meteorologist at a TV station in Miami in 1992 when Hurricane Andrew hit. And Brian Norcross sort of revolutionized how TV stations cover hurricanes. It also really helped to revolutionize how state governments cover hurricanes. As they were evacuating for Hurricane Andrew, it was just 2 lanes trying to get out of Miami. Brian Norcross literally calls the governor of Florida and says, what are you doing? Why don't you reverse all the lanes so that we can get everybody out? That's where lane reversals came from. They were the only station in Miami that was able to stay on the air through Hurricane Andrew, literally broadcasting from the basement of the TV studio. And now he's with Fox Weather. He's this incredible hurricane researcher and hurricane forecaster. So we could probably swing Norcross.
I think we could too.
Yeah.
He would be a fun one to have. You already answered next season. Suzanne Greenhill asking, when are you two going to sell merch?
When are we going to sell merch?
We don't know.
$10. You want it? $10.
I don't know if we're legally allowed to do that.
$10.
I would love to, but
Anya's shaking her head at me like she always does.
see,
Cut.
we can't get canceled. Anyone else have a question in the room?
Oh boy, Will.
All right.
When are you going to get Nor'easter Nick on the podcast?
Nor'easter Nick would be good. Can't believe we didn't think of that. Yeah.
So
I can send him a text real quick.
Well, we're kind of busy right now. He's, but yeah. So Nor'easter Nick, in case you don't know, a really great meteorologist up in southern New Jersey, and sort of was in the traditional TV business, but the station that he was working at shut down, so he was sort of out of a job. And instead of sort of looking for a job, he took his social media following and literally built his own entire network that started with just social media, but now he has his own app and his own 24-hour channel. And he's, how many employees are with Nor'easter Nick now and his whole umbrella company? Yeah, like employs 20 people, and it's just sort of revolutionizing local weather. So that would be great.
Will, when did you start doing weather? I'm going to turn the question on you.
Week of April?
No,
you're
normal.
talking about in general?
Yeah.
Like 2020.
2020? COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good deal. While we're waiting for another question, too, I do want to ask, how many people have seen our new weather show, Whether or Not? Raise your hand. Because we haven't been able to ask. It's awesome, by the way. Okay,
Oh,
Donald,
thank you.
Donald, let's go to Donald. Can we give the mic to Donald real quick? We're going to turn this into a question.
I
to
love
them.
this, yeah.
All right, so for the record, for people that don't know, we've launched a new digital daily weather show.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
It's awesome. Do it more often.
Okay, and what makes it so good?
Other than the host.
Because we're literally just throwing some stuff out there. We're just curious what you like.
Because weather for me is like very, very important, and so it's a new way of weather. Essentially, you're showing more than just our area.
Okay,
Love it.
Who else has seen it? Anybody in the back there?
Chris, you said you've seen it? You've seen it?
What do you like about the new weather show?
Weather around the country, where we
Oh, the coast to coast segment.
yes,
Okay,
that's
cool.
what. It's
Hey,
nice.
Ben,
We have family that
have you
lives
seen
all
it?
over, so it's nice to see that.
Hey, Jenna. That show that you're the executive producer of? Ben hasn't even seen it yet. Producer.
Oh man, this is where the rails fall off. What are you drinking?
A little vodka cran.
It looks very festive.
It's very festive,
It's
and
very
I'm loving the straw.
peppermint straw.
Yeah.
I'm drinking the Salty Golfer. I see Darion's still partaking up there too, so that's good. Any questions in here before we start? Oh, I can't see over here. It's like I'm blind.
Yeah, Connor.
Why does tornadoes like damage houses?
Why do tornadoes damage houses?
You can take this one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, tornadoes are small but mighty.
Yeah.
Lots of wind associated with them, Connor. And what I would say is, unfortunately, we do get lucky sometimes where we'll have a large tornado in the middle of a field,
Okay.
out in the plain.
Yep.
But unfortunately, even when the houses are built the strongest, even some of the weak-end tornadoes can
Yeah.
still cause damage. One of those places that we see that is what we call Tornado Alley.
Yep.
So they're very common where a lot of your air masses collide, Connor. A lot of hot air, a lot of cold air. Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, those are like the prime spots, but tornadoes are possible almost nearly anywhere, but the stronger ones are certainly as we start to see those temperatures change. You like it?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. You're
I
just
guess,
like
I guess
very-
we'll keep you. I'm so chill right now. The week is over. It's been crazy. It's so cozy.
I know. I am a little hot, though.
We're going to have to work on this setup.
Wow.
Back at the studio.
So can we also talk about that? That's how I wanted to start this.
Yeah.
So this is episode
wow.
65, 64. Oh, it's on the
give
title.
Somebody take Donald a beanie.
It's 64, but it's still close. Oh, that's hopefully not in nachos. Oh, good. Okay. It's funny though because when we sat down, this is our baby.
Yeah.
Like we didn't even know whether or not it was going to be a thing. We wanted this,
I know.
and then we found out we were too broke for it. But we wanted this look.
65 episodes in, and we finally have a
We
couch. and a love
finally
seat.
got the look. I think we could do this in our studio. Though.
Oh, we totally can. And
We'll
we
figure
should.
it out.
And we should.
We'll figure it out. Do you want to do some Christmas exchange and we'll get some questions?
Let's do it.
Okay. You want to go first?
I'm scared to, but yes.
Why?
I don't know. No, you go first because are those all mine?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's not a lot.
That's a lot.
Okay. All right, so for those that don't know, it's a Are You Cirrus Miss? That's a mouthful. It's tradition. This is what I would give you, and this is what we would do off air.
Yeah.
We were like, why not bring the viewers in? So this
Right.
is our Christmas gifts to each other. I almost tried to get you back after the Halloween scare. I was going to try to embarrass you in front of all these people, but I didn't.
Good.
So we'll save that for another time.
I'm still your boss.
That's true. That's true. Oh, Lord. You're staying in town for Christmas?
Yep.
All right, this is from Jamie. What if it was? I would wear it all the time.
That would be pretty good. Now that I see all your boxes, I'm really embarrassed.
Oh, Lord, what does this say? Oh, that's so good.
Right?
It says whiskey weather. And it's so soft.
Right?
Also, every day is whiskey weather.
I figured.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I am going to wear this to pieces. Also, fun fact, I'm a terrible gift giver. If you don't know this about me, most of the time I have to ask Emily 1,000 times what to get you.
Yeah.
So she really helped me this year.
Oh, gosh.
This is like year 6 of me getting you a gift.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard because I feel like you already have what you want.
Who's more attached to go over there and get it?
Definitely you. Or to me. Jenna or Anya or... Can you just grab those gifts?
We're just so attached. This is like a lot.
It's okay.
This is a lot.
That's just saying thank you for keeping me employed,
Look
for
at
hiring
this.
me.
Look at
Also,
this.
I didn't do that.
I know you didn't.
Okay,
do
thank
this.
you, thank you.
Is there one that I need to start with?
No, they're all go. Whatever you want to do. But look at that color scheme.
Look at that.
Ooh.
So festive.
She's probably watching right now and is like, I
Emily-
better be getting credit for that.
Emily is absolutely the best. Love her.
While you're opening that, I'm going to look at questions.
This is a lot of wrapping and boxing to get into, by
It's
the way.
good. You'll figure it out.
Just talk amongst yourselves. Everything's fine.
Yeah,
going.
Jamie. Wow, the podcast is waiting on you.
How am I supposed
I don't know. I'll help. Does anyone have a knife? Plastic one. Here's this.
This is...
Oh my god.
Oh, my God.
Someone confiscate.
Thank you, Will. All right, here, you work on that
I
one.
love how you held it out of here. Like here, take it. You know I'm all about the festive mood.
I know you are. Oh, I'm liking this. I think I see one. Really?
This is how it came, Jamie. I'll check to make sure this one's good. This one's good.
This is a lot to do in front of a live audience.
I know, and I love it. I know you're like getting weirded out by
I
it
am. I'm very weirded out.
because all eyes are on you.
I like things to keep moving. To go with last year's Christmas gift.
There you go. You got it. So these are, for those that are going to be listening down the road, these are Christmas tree drink
Stirs, yeah.
stirs. I can
Yeah.
never say that word. Stirs
Love it.
to match the Christmas martini glasses.
So last year, Andrew got me 4 martini glasses.
Yeah, and I saw your picture of them. I was so proud.
Yeah, I can't get it out.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just keep looking.
Thank you. But there's more.
Here's madness. This is pure madness. Thank you, Amazon, for the wonderful wrapping.
Yeah, they're not breaking. What?
So this is to fill those martini glasses, and it is a cranberry martini infuser. I have one of these for bourbon.
Yeah.
You take any dehydrated spice, fruit, whatever you want, throw it in there for at least 3 days. If you let it go longer, you'll get more flavor out of it, but that will get you in the holiday spirit.
Wow.
You're going to be addicted to that.
Look at that.
Here's
That's my flavor combo right
here's
there.
for the camera. There's the nice festive. I think they're all different, but you get
Love
the
it.
gist.
Thank you.
You get the gist. If you can't tell, we like to drink.
We're drinking, doing a podcast. Our gifts are all about drinks.
It's so sad. Last but not least,
Not Spode. What? Oh, I love it.
You see it?
Shut up.
You don't have it, right?
I do not.
Okay, good. And that is to put the cranberry infused.
I love it. Spode, Christmas tree picture. For all of this, this actually says makes 8 to 16 drinks. For who? Connor?
No, I would never.
No, I'm saying 8 to 16 drinks in here.
Oh, no, I think it's like servings, and I think you could do shots or you could do different.
But
like
all
you could
in
do,
here.
yeah, but you could do, that would be like probably one cocktail or two.
Okay.
Yeah. Out of the box? Who wants to see it out of the... Oh, my goodness.
So demanding.
Here, I'll take it.
Chris, you like Spode, don't you? You have an entire collection.
Uh-oh. Do we have a question?
That's not our boss, is it?
No,
Are we fired?
We're not fired.
Are we canceled?
Oh, this is coming from Jerry. Jerry, Anya's dad, asked, I find it quite odd that South Carolina and New Jersey have very similar weather just a day or two later. Not sure there's a question in there, but thoughts.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Look at this. Look at that.
Should we I'm just kidding.
Don't mess up my picture. I love it.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love it. Aww.
I would tell Jerry, though, because I have to give Jerry a shout out.
Yeah?
Most of the same systems impact us. I would think, if anything, and you probably notice that on coast to coast, when cold air is coming through here, typically it's coming through New Jersey.
Yep.
Low pressure is moving through. It's about the same timing. The only difference is the temperatures.
Yeah.
They're usually colder. We're usually warmer. But yeah, that's about it. It's the same weather systems impacting us, unless there's a nor'easter or something.
Something weird like that, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, most of the time it's the general same weather that we're getting that they're getting. So, like my parents back home in Kentucky, for instance, they'll get rain the day before we get rain. Just kind of how it works.
That's how weather works.
Good question, Jerry. I'm glad Jerry got to ask a question,
I'm still
too.
impressed with this.
Look,
This is good stuff.
I thought long and hard about how can I figure this out to make last year better.
Yeah.
And good, I did.
You did. You
Good.
did good.
Any other questions? Trying not to bore you all. I know we got a lot of photos to take. No questions at all.
Fun story. Andrew liked the sweater that I was wearing when I got into work this morning. And he was asking what I was going to wear tonight to the podcast. I was like, I'm going to wear this. He's like, okay, I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to wear. And he went out shopping to buy that brand new.
It looks wonderful, doesn't it?
It does.
So you came in with a suit, first off.
I had on a jacket.
Yeah, a jacket with that. And I was like,
Yeah.
I need to rethink my outfit because mine was going to be more colorful.
And that's the one you thought of, huh?
Yeah. Because I was like, I'm going to be too bright for you. Too bright for you. Because I was going to be like red and green and festive. So I was like, I got to mellow it out.
I like it.
But I had to go buy this.
That's good. I know. Well,
$15.99. So I'm going to cash that back. You got a question? Okay, cool.
Kyle has a
I always
question.
hear the weather people talking about the Doppler radar. So exactly how does Doppler work?
Oh, Lord.
We're almost done. I'll let you take this one.
So really simply, so you have a radar beam, okay? This beam is invisible, shoots out into the atmosphere. When that beam, that radar beam, hits something, usually a raindrop, a snowflake, a piece of hail or whatever, it sends a signal back to the radar. That is then processed and sort of gives us the display. So obviously the bigger and heavier the object that radar beam hits, the stronger the signal that it's going to be that it sends back. And that's sort of a very quick and easy Doppler radar.
And then to get really more complicated, because why not? You could go higher up on the angles and do the same process. So as it shoots out, like if this table was a storm, you know, I'm using my examples. If this table was a storm and radar shot out and hit the particles and saw the water droplets, it would do its scan, go up, And it would continue to do that until it read clear.
Yep.
And that basically tells us how tall the cloud is. It can also tell us if the storm's falling apart, if the storm's building. Basically, it's doing that same cycle Jamie just said, but it's doing it in increments and different tilts to tell us what's happening around us.
Yes, good.
Great question.
Kyle had a question?
We got
There's
another one
back over here?
Oh,
So all the Emmys you guys pulled down a couple weeks ago.
They're not quite Emmys, but we're working
Well,
on
whatever they
I
are.
like the way you're speaking in the future, though.
Yeah, put it out there.
Give it a hand. They worked really hard to get all the awards they gotten recently.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now the dreaded question: which university has the best meteorologist program?
I know mine doesn't.
No. Okay, so here's what I would tell, because I do know we have like future people that are going in that are watching this at home. Here's what I would tell you. There's a lot of great programs.
Yep.
And there's also a lot of programs that I think are overhyped. I'm not going to name those.
Yep.
But what I would say, and I know you're the same way, and this is how we've kind of agreed with our programs, Charlotte and Western Kentucky, our programs were up and coming, and they're much bigger than where they were when we started.
Yeah.
My program had 24 people in it for my starting class, and we ended with 4 that graduated. Everybody else quit because of so much science and physics and math. I would say to the people watching, especially the kids, because I know we do have meteorology students or people that are interested in weather, focus on what fits you and don't always go with the mainstream.
It's not the school, it's what you do with it.
Correct. And honestly, like, this is for anyone about to go to college. Focus on smaller class sizes. Like, for meteorology, we could have went to a big Oklahoma, which I would have never. No offense to Oklahoma. They have 200 kids in their meteorology class. Yeah. I probably wouldn't have passed, if I'm being completely honest. But my meteorology class had like 10 people in it, and I was able to really get a hands-on learning experience. Yeah. And I know this guy, he built that university at Charlotte, basically, that program. There's a statue of you.
I was actually the first graduate of my program to actually make it in this business, the very first. So it's, so I'm really old, yes. Yes.
He's a founding father.
Yes. All right, Kyle.
Great question.
So Kyle is our 6 p.m. producer over there at the bar.
Used to be on our wonderful morning show until he's a traitor.
What is you guys' favorite on-camera moment together?
Ooh.
Oh, that's together. That's good. I think it has to go back to literally how this podcast started, and I think it was Hurricane Ian?
Yeah.
When Hurricane Ian hit, that was sort of the first big hurricane that Andrew was here for. Had been here for some little ones.
Yeah.
But Ian was kind of like the first sort of big hurricane, and I'm always thinking of ways to like freshen up weather, to do things different or whatever. And a lot of times when you're in hurricane coverage, it's one meteorologist and then another one and then another one. And I was like, you know what? Like Andrew and I already had a good rapport, and I was like, let's try both of us on air at the same time. And so we got in front of this big monitor and started talking about everything that was going on with the hurricane, and it was literally just magic. And I'm not just saying that. We were completing each other's sentences. There was no need to like, okay, Andrew, what do you think? We were literally just instantly going back and forth with each other, and it was so fun to do. And then when I went back and watched it, to see it, and then to have viewer feedback about how much they loved it, I think that's my favorite, and that's what led to the podcast. We got done with that, and a few months later, we were like, you know what? That was so fun. Why don't we just like try a podcast?
Yeah, I mean, that's where it all started. Because like Dorian, I was like, still like, that was first ever, and I was a nervous wreck because you're like, how do I talk? Like, this is a long time. But I think the beauty of all of that is even now, some of my favorite moments that we have on air is we are so like connected when we're doing a podcast, like I already know what you're thinking about saying, and I'm like, please don't say it because I know it's probably something to get us canceled or something that's going to be. And I think that's just that you don't always have that.
Right.
Our weather team is so close knit. Our newsroom, for the most part, like our morning show team, I love Darion and Lauren and Michaela and our producers and Anya and Sarah. It's a special place to work.
It is.
I've worked in a lot of places where it's not like that.
Yeah.
So obviously this and whether or not is just an example of that. And you all are the ones who support us. So thank you all for that. Because without you all, we're not here.
Woo. Shall we end on a high note?
I think so.
End on a high note?
End on a high note, and then we'll mingle.
So cheers to all of you for coming out. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, Darion. Wishing you all very happy holidays, very Merry Christmas, and again, huge thank you to the folks here at Grand Strand Brewing Company for hosting us and hooking us up, and hopefully future partners.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you all once again. It's been a magical year, and we will see you 2025 with a lot more fun things to come.
Let's do it. Thanks,
Merry
y'all.
Christmas.